let's move on. Today we're going to learn how to determine slopes and y-intercepts of lines and then use those to graph. Okay, can someone tell me, again, what does slope mean? What does the slope mean? How much the line's going up, right, or down. Okay, it's the change in y over the change in x. Okay, it's how much the graph is changing from point to point. Okay, can someone tell me what a y-intercept is? Yep.
When it goes up.
Why do you say it goes up?
Because y goes up like on the graph, and then this is like the x.
Okay, y is our vertical axis, right?
Yep.
Good start. That's where y is. What's an intercept of it?
Like it goes out.
Yeah.
Like it's intercepted.
Yeah.
Look, it'll go through it.
It goes through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes through it, okay? Y-intercept is our vertical axis. Okay, I'm going to draw a little line here. Which one's our y-axis again?
Vertical.
The vertical one, okay? So our intercept is wherever that line goes through that y-axis. Where did it go through at?
The y. Yes, y.
Right here, right? So
Yeah.
that point right there, that is my y-intercept. Okay? So what you're going to learn, we really care about the slope and the y-intercept. Okay?
Okay.
And then we're going to talk about slope-intercept form. Brayden, what was that equation you had earlier?
1 plus 1.
Negative 3x minus 4.
Yeah.
Okay? Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Everybody write that down. Huge on your paper. Write it down.
Oh my god.
Where at?
Okay. Right on this slide where I have it written down here. Couple years.
Remember that?
Okay? Now, can someone tell me anything about this equation right now?
It has mx b
Claire.
plus equals and y in it.
I think you could like plug in y and x.
Okay? Do we know what any of those stand for?
Multiply.
Minimize.
M equals metabolism.
Not science.
M equals slope. And
M is the slope. Stop right there.
you're hacking.
Stop right there. M is the slope. Label it. Label it. Label it.
There's not even an
M is the slope. M is the slope. Okay? What do we think B stands for?
Special woman.
No. Good guess though. It's our y-intercept. Okay? Y and x, what do you think those stand for?
The graph.
They stand for the coordinate, okay? Right now in slope-intercept form, we don't really care about them. Okay? The only thing we care about is the slope and the y-intercept. Why do you think we would use the y and the x if we ever needed to? Just like we would, where we would substitute like our xy table. That's when we would use the x and the y again. Okay? But what I want us to understand is our biggest, most important pieces are the slope and the y-intercept. Okay? Good so far?
Yeah.
Okay, remember that formula or that equation. Let's look at this graph. I'm going to put another point in here and I want you to make the same point on your graph. On that line I just went up 2 from the bottom. I want you to calculate rise over run from the point I just put on there to the point they already have on there. I want you to calculate rise over run. Rise over run stands for my slope, right?
Yeah.
What's my rise?
4.
4. What's my run?
2.
2. What does that go to? That goes down to 2. Okay? Good. So we have one of our most important pieces. What's the other important piece we talked about? The y-intercept, which is our b. Where does our line cross the y-axis? Y-axis is here. Where does it cross? At 0, 1. What's my y value of that point? 1. So our b is 1. We only care about the y value of that point. Okay? What was that slope-intercept form I had you write really big? Don't forget the y. We have to have the y. Y equals mx plus b. Can we make our equation? Do we have the two most important pieces?
Yes.
So plug it in. Y equals, what's our m? 2x, what's our b?
1.
Plus 1. So that equation we just created is this line. Okay? How would we go backwards? If they gave us this equation and they wanted us to graph it,
Blue.
how could we go backwards? We're not gonna do anything with this equation. We're gonna use this equation to graph.
You take
Use
one
the
of the
arrow.
rows. You put
One
uh,
Shh, shh, shh.
you know that B is gonna be the one or one's B, so you'd write like B equals 1.
Yep.
Blue.
And then you would do the same thing for N. And
Right.
then you would go find like that on the corner.
Yeah, I love how you started by labeling your two important pieces. That's what I want us to do. When we start graphing, what's our starting point going to be? Remember, these are the only two things we know. Which one can we use as a starting point? Why the B? Because we know where to put this, right? We know exactly where that goes. That's where our starting point would be. Now, how can we find all the other points? What's the other thing we know? Slope. We know rise over run. Okay? If I only had 2, though, how could I write that as a rise over run? I could put 1. Okay? So from this point, what's my rise? 2. Run is 1. So I got another point. What if I couldn't keep going? Could I go this way?
Yes.
Right. I could go down to left 1. Okay? So that is how you would go from your equation back to your graph. Okay, so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me rephrase that. What is the other important piece with rise over run? Before. Positive or negative, okay? Is our slope positive or negative on this one? Positive. So when you're creating your other points, you got to make sure you're going that way with the graph. The correct way, positive or negative. Okay? Look at some examples. If I look at this, what is my slope-intercept form? What's my slope-intercept form? What's the thing I had you write super, super big?
Y equals mx plus b.
Yep, mx plus b. Y equals mx plus b. That's slope-intercept form. So whenever I tell you use slope-intercept form, that's what I mean. Okay, what do the directions tell us to do?
Just state the slope and the y intercept.
Perfect, stop right there. That's all it wants us to do. From this equation right here, what's my slope? 1/4, how did you get that? That's where the m is, right? What's our y-intercept or our b? Why do you say -6, Tyler? Right, because subtraction also serves as negative. Okay, that's all it wants you to do on that problem. State the slope and the y-intercept. Go ahead and try this one on your own. State the slope and the y-intercept. All right, Layla, what'd you get for your slope? 1/2. Claire, what'd you get for your y-intercept? Sorry, both Claires. You got 3? Did you get 3? All right. Did everyone get those two values? We all agree? Okay. How did you know which one was which? You use the slope-intercept form. Okay. When in doubt, go to slope-intercept form. Okay? What if we have a problem that looks like this? Is this in slope-intercept form? Why not?
Because the y is too far over it.
Right. In our slope-intercept form, it's y equals mx plus b. What variable is by itself?
-4.
The y is by itself, okay? So if I have my equation here, I want to get y by itself. How do you use algebra to get y by itself? Not subtract. Add what? Yep, we're going to add 4x. Why are we adding 4x? Right, these cancel out. Remember, we're adding it to both sides. What's left on the left side? Y equals, how would I write the right side? What did you say? I see what you did. Okay, are these two like terms? No, so can we combine them? No, so we're just going to write them. Which one should I write first, though?
4x.
Why 4x? What? That's where m would be. Good. So we have 4x, and then what's my b?
Blue.
-10. Yep. So from here, what is my slope? 4. If I wanted it in rise over run form, how could I write that? 4 over 1, right? Because if I put 4 over 1, does that change the value? No. Okay, what's our B? 10 or negative 10? Negative 10. Good. Okay. Now we're going to practice graphing this. I know we don't have an actual graph, but we're going to do our best, okay? Draw a graph. Draw a graph. Draw a graph.
Oh, I can't see.
Okay. What I first want us to do from our equation, what can we get from it? How can we use our equation? What are the 2 different things we can get? You can get your M and your B. Okay. What is my slope? -3. How could I write that in rise over run form? Over 1. Good. What is my y-intercept? 9. Do we have the 2 things that we need? Yes. We talked about it a little bit before. Which one, slope or B, can I use for my starting point?
9.
Why 9? You're right.
It's what is it called?
It's your y-intercept. So I know exactly where that is on the graph. Remember, we always start at our origin. Where is the y-intercept if it's 9? Where do I need to go?
Up 9.
I need to go up 9, okay? So that is my starting point. You're always going to have your starting point on the y-axis. Which axis? Y. Okay? Now that I have my starting point, where am I going to go from here? What am I going to use? I'm going to use rise over run. We know that I need to go down 3. Now we have a negative slope. Do you see that?
Yep.
What direction do I need to go? Right or left?
Both.
If I went left, is that a negative slope? No. So where do I need to go?
Go right.
I need to go right. Okay, I want you to do 2 points, so we need to do one more. Do that same slope. 1, 2, 3 over 1. So you know to connect your dots here. To check, I started with a negative slope. Does my graph resemble that?
Yep.
Does my graph resemble a negative slope? Yeah? Okay, so I want your starting point, and then I want 2 other points using your slope. Okay? Notice how I went all the way through the graph with my line. Does that make sense? You want to go all the way through with arrows on the ends. Okay? Any questions over slope intercept form day 1?
We're already almost done.
Doing okay?